Hello, welcome to Tamahalo, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be an unboxing and exploration of the new Tamagotchi connections. The devices were announced in May, and as soon as the pre-orders went live, I went ahead and placed my orders because I was extremely excited. However, in the last week, I did notice that my pre-orders were getting delayed, so I tried placing brand new orders, and Amazon offered me overnight shipping, and sure enough, these arrived early this morning on July 11th, so I've gone ahead and canceled my pre-orders. I believe the same issue occurred when the Tamagotchi unis were released, so I will be very interested to see if that's what we're going to experience with the Tamagotchi Uni Angel and Monster that are supposed to be coming out next week. However, for now, I'm mostly just excited to get to open these up and start checking them out. So I think that the first one I'm going to be opening up will be the retro. So I'm going to go ahead and move the rainbow off screen for a little bit, and we'll go ahead and zoom in. Probably not too much. Look a little bit at the back of the box here. And let's see about figuring out the best way to open her up. The majority of my experience with the connections has been with the version 4.5s. So it will be fun to explore a model that is supposed to be a little more similar to the version 3. However, I think that overall this device isn't meant to necessarily copy or be an exact re-release of any of the other connections. I believe that it kind of has some content of its own, but it also has content that was included in both the K-tie and the version 3. Regardless, I'm excited to get it started. I'll bring the device a little closer to the camera here so you guys can get a look. I'm a big fan of clear shells, though if I could get my hands on them, I would really love to get the Japanese releases of the Tamagotchi connections that are coming out, because those shells to me are a little more attractive, and I have a big weakness for anything with glitter anyway. Let's go ahead and get this guy started. Okay, well, we didn't get any sound there. There we go. So we're going to choose English. We're going to set the date. It is July 11th. Okay, and I have no idea what time it is. Whoops. Okay, and we're going to enter my nickname. Let's see if we can do it. There we go. For me, I think that my Connection 4.5s are some of my most comforting models, just because they have a lot of nostalgia. However, there we go. I'm kind of hoping that I can kind of transfer that comfort to these devices, since they are newer and therefore they're a little easier to replace if anything bad happens to them. One of my biggest worries when I take out my version 4.5s, or really any of my more expensive vintage items, is damaging it and not being able to replace it. So I'm always excited when I have a more modern device that I can play, that if I do something horrible to it on accident, or if I do lose it, I can more easily replace it. So that's another reason I was really excited to see that they were releasing these connections. I know that a lot of people in the community really struggle to get their hands on some of the connection models for what they consider a reasonable price. I know that I've seen some of the connection shells I own go for over $100, and I can understand why that's just a little bit steep for most people. Looks like we have a little boy. Let's see, what should we name him? I'm gonna go with Abe, just because it's easy. There we go. Alright, and Abe is already in a bad mood. And that didn't take him long. Let's check his stats. Okay. So unlike with a 4.5, we're not really going to see any personality traits, so this is going to be a little simpler. That is not necessarily a bad thing. meal. We've got the scone, we've got sushi, bread, and cereal. Okay. I think since he's a baby, we're going to go ahead and feed him some cereal. So I am already seeing some similarities and some differences to the connections that I've experienced. I don't remember my version 4.5s having the little, what almost looks like horns on top of the head there, but that could just be a memory issue. Alright. Are you full yet? Finally full. Alright. Still in a really bad mood. Not too surprising. Let's check on these games. Get. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to try and capture anything that's not a poop. Oh no. See, and I've already gone and done that. Okay. Yes, I know. Yes, it was very bad. I'm aware. Okay, now what are the buttons to move? There it is. Okay. There we go. So with the connections that I play the most, I'm sure you're getting tired of me mentioning them, but the version 4.5s, it's a jump game that you unlock first. So this is already a little different for me. And different can be nice. Okay. It's going to speed up and get just a little more difficult here. I wonder if we're going to top out what will be the max amount of points we can get. I'm not sure that that's really going to matter here, because I imagine I'm going to make a mistake before we get anywhere near the max. And I also wonder if by doing really well we're going to earn more hearts and therefore not have to replay the game multiple times, because that's been my experience on the connections before. And there's my mistake. How much did we get? We got 50 gotcha points for that. But the real question is, how many hearts did that earn us? Alright. Come on, little man. 1! Well, that's gonna be a fun adventure. Let's see if we can get it to perfect. So originally when these were released, I did go ahead and pre-order one of every shell design. But as time went on and we did see some of the shells that they are releasing in Japan, I went ahead and canceled the orders for the shells that I was, I guess, not that fond of. I wouldn't say that I love any of the American shells a lot, but between all of the other colors, I did enjoy the retro and the rainbow the most, so I kept those. I did decide to get 2 rather than 1 because I do know that these are called the connections. The point of them is that you can have them interact with each other, but unfortunately these new connections do not interact with the old connections. So if I wanted to get to use the connection ability, I was going to have to order myself more than one device. And as much as I know I want to eventually own the Japanese models, I don't know when I'll be able to get a hold of them. So I went ahead and settled for these 2 colors. I don't have any local friends who are in the community at this time, but I do wish that I did, because then I wouldn't have to take care of 2 devices at once. I could just focus on taking care of one, and I could kind of have more of the organic experience, the intended experience, when they designed these. Speaking of which, I think since his happiness is at an acceptable, if not great level, we're gonna go ahead and open that other device and get that one started while we listen out for any signs of issues. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this the same way. Is there a side that has more gap? This has a pretty good amount of gap. But let me know below if you were excited for these releases or if you were more excited about the new uni releases that we're getting. I was originally going to purchase, and I did pre-order the Sanrio uni, but once they announced the angel and the monster, I went ahead and canceled my Sanrio pre-order because it seemed silly to own that many unis, and honestly, I don't have that much money. And this can get to be an expensive hobby. Oh, I really like the background on this one. I love that little rainbow going there. I also like the colors on this. I know that for a lot of people this shell isn't necessarily their favorite, but I do have a weakness for colors, multiple colors. I have a weakness for rainbows. I don't necessarily love some of the design that we're seeing here, kind of the effects, but it is still pretty cute to me. Let's get it going. Now we know that the delay is not a bad thing. All right, here. We're gonna go ahead and do this. That's odd. It'll be interesting to see once I can compare this to the other one. For some reason, this screen doesn't seem as vibrant to me, but we'll be able to compare them directly in just a little bit. Oops. Okay. If you did choose to order a connection, tell me below what shells you chose to get. I'm very curious as to what everybody else ended up really liking. And if you found a way to order any of the Japanese shells, let me know. I've tried to do it through Amazon Japan, and I got the little notice that they don't deliver to my address. And unfortunately, the site I would normally go to, Japan You Want, as far as I know, they still do not have any pre-orders up for the devices. And they're not sure if and when they will stock them. Okay, so while this one's hatching, Abe needs to get cleaned up. That was a kind of a shorter sound than I anticipated. I'm not sure why. It's probably just old memory. Okay. Nope, he won't play. Now, typically with the other connections, if they won't play, it's because their weight is too low. So perhaps he needs to eat. Oops. Well, I guess we're switching you to scones as well, buddy. Okay, let's see what your weight is. You've only got one heart. That was quick. Weight is down. Let's see here. Now can we play? Oh, we got a little girl over there. And now we're distracted. I need to name her. Can I do it? Let's see. Think of a name. While also trying to play this game. Let's see. If he's Abe... I'll choose an A name for her too. Oh, there we go. Made a mistake. What a pity. Okay, I'll go with that. Oops. Oh. And we've got the little boy crying. Oh. Okay, let's get rid of the symbols, please. I just want... Okay, little dude. I know you're crying. And she's upset too. Everybody's upset. Everybody's yelling at me. Okay. And we'll get the medication to him. And then she... Is that good enough for him? Ah, the chaos of playing with more than one at once. If she needs fed while we feed her, can I figure out why he's complaining? We just played a game with you and you're already dropping all of your happy. Well, this is just going to be really fun. Okay, it doesn't remember the food, which is a little bit of a bummer. Over here, you're just going to have a snack. So I have time to try and take care of the little girl. Okay, we don't have an orange, so you're going to have an apple. Alright, now it's your turn and we'll try to play the game. Unfortunately, I don't think I can play both of these games at once. If I started the jump game on my version 4.5s at the same time, I could play the game at the same time because it was a timing thing. There was no variation. And I had gotten it down pretty good, which was quite nice because when you're taking care of two devices, it's nice to be able to get them both happy with a game rather quickly. Especially when you can only apparently earn one heart at a time, at least with my skill level. Let's mess that up. Okay. There we go. I'd really like to see if I can max this out just to see if there is, by chance, any way to get more than one heart out of the game. The good news about the fact that these guys are both babies is that while they seem really needy right now, the devices should get to be a little easier as they get older. So this shouldn't be indicative of what it's... Okay, we did max that one out. Indicative of what it's like to play with them throughout their entire life stage, hopefully. Yeah, nobody cares about the money. Well, maybe we'll eventually care about the money, but if you could please show me your happiness. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so if I can max it out, we're gonna get all the hearts. So let's try that with little dude. The other thing is since it is the baby level, there isn't a whole lot for you guys to see just yet, because we've only got the one game available, and for an hour, I'm going to be basically doing the same thing over and over, which is feeding Abe and Ari, cleaning up their poop, helping them when they get sick, and playing a whole bunch of games because their happiness is probably going to drain pretty quickly. So with that in mind, I'm going to try one more time to max his happiness out, and then we're probably going to stop the video there. And I will get an update to you guys probably tomorrow. Let me rephrase that, and I will do an update of tomorrow's play for you guys and get that uploaded. My hope would be to upload the videos each day as I do take them, or record them, that is, but unfortunately with my computer, editing sometimes takes an extremely long time because my computer is extremely old and I'm extremely slow. So that's what we've got so far. We got really lucky in that we do have a boy and a girl, so I will be able to show you guys what it's like to marry two devices together once these guys are older. Oops, we gotta go potty. Can we catch it? Yay, we can catch it. Okay. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I'll be doing more videos on these devices, and once I receive my two new unis, the Monster and Angel, I'll also be doing videos of those, so if those are things that might interest you, feel free to subscribe and check in with me next time for my next video. Bye!